China's military has surged in capability and size in the recent decades, but that rise has come, partially, as a result of stealing, copying, or imitating technology developed by the US and other countries. From drones to ships, here is the list of 10 weapons China copied from other countries. Number 10, Type 726. The Chinese Type 726 sail landing craft, air-cushioned, is a near-carbon copy of their Navy LCAC. The hovercraft used by the US Navy uses to deliver everything, from bullets to tanks, to bare enemy beaches. The two vessels even have similar capabilities. Both can carry 60 tons, but the US LCAC can overload to 75 tons. This is particularly bad news for Taiwan, the democratic island stronghold separated from mainland China by a thin strip of water that the Type 726 can cross while carrying a Chinese main battle tank. Number 9, PLZ-05 self-propelled howitzer. The PLZ-05 is a Chinese copy of Soviet-era Tu-S-19 self-propelled howitzer armored vehicle. The PLZ-05 was designed and manufactured by the China North Industries Group Corporation. The development of the PLZ-05 reportedly began in the mid-1990s. It was a further development of the PLZ-45 and, the first prototype was completed in 2003. The howitzer may have been certified in 2005. A model of the howitzer was first revealed by the China North Industries Group Corporation during the 2005 Beijing International Aviation Expo. The PLZ-05 155mm self-propelled howitzer entered service with the PLA around 2007, intended as a replacement for the aging Type 83 152mm self-propelled gun howitzer, deployed at the Army and division level to provide long-range accurate firepower. Number 8. The PHL-3 multiple rocket launcher. The PHL-03 is a 12-tube 300mm long-range multiple rocket launcher of the People's Republic of China. This is copied version of the Russian-made BM-30 Smerch rocket artillery system. The main role for this multiple rocket launcher is to engage strategic targets such as large concentrations of troops, airfields, command centers, air defense batteries and support facilities. It is also used to engage in counter-battery fire missions. The PHL-03 has the same configuration as the original Russian counterpart with 12 launch tubes for 300mm artillery rockets, along with a computerized fire control system. A standard weight for each rocket is 800 kilograms with a 280 kilograms warhead. Maximum firing ranges depending on warhead type with around 70 to 130 kilometers. Number 7, the CH-4 Long Endurance Drone. The Chinese CH-4B Long Endurance Drone bears a strong resemblance to the American MQ-1 Predator drone, and actually has a similar mission, altitude, range, and armament. The China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation didn't really pull this design out of thin air, but they do manufacture it more cheaply, leading to an edge in exports. An answer to the MQ-9 Reaper drone also exists, the CH-5, but it lacks the altitude of the proper Reaper. It can reach a paltry 9,000 meters, compared to the 15,000 meters of the Reaper. Number 6. The CX-1 cruise missile. The Xiaoxun-1, CX-1, is a Chinese-built copy of Indo-Russian BrahMos supersonic anti-ship missile and cruise missile. The missile was first displayed at the 10th China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition, held in Zhuhai, China. Shortly after its unveiling, the CX-1 was suspected to have been a Chinese-made copy of the Russian-Indian BrahMos, as it shares the BrahMos' distinctive cone inlet air intake, two-stage structure, and similar dimensions. China is not a known user of BrahMos missile or Yokont missile. Analysts as well as Indian military sources have denied that the CX-1 is a copy of the BrahMos, and more likely derived from other Russian anti-ship missiles which have been sold to China over the years. While bearing a superficial resemblance, differences include the wings, guidance and jet vanes, a smaller front end, different air intake, and different engine. Their CX-1 was more likely influenced by other Chinese-operated Russian missiles like the SSN-22 Sunburn. Number 5. Z-20 helicopter. China purchased Sikorsky S-70 helicopters, the civilian variant of the UH-60 Black Hawk, back in the 1980s. Eventually, they wore out, so China created the homegrown Z-20, which are basically UH-60. They're so closely related that commentators took to calling the Z-20 the copy Hawk. The helicopter features a fifth blade that's not found on Black Hawks, and the Z-20 is thought to carry slightly more weight than its ancestor, the UH-60. Number 4. Y-20 transport aircraft. Rolling off the line in June 2016, the Y-20 is slightly smaller and carries slightly less weight than the American C-17, to which it appears to be a close cousin. Despite its relative smallness, it's still a massive transport aircraft capable of carrying Chinese main battle tanks and other gear across the planet. A former Boeing employee was convicted of selling C-17 technical details to China in 2009, while the Y-20 was still in early development. Number 3. The Shenyang J11. The Shenyang is a twin-engine jet fighter whose airframe is a copy of the Soviet-designed Sukhoi Su-27. It is manufactured by the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation. The aircraft is operated by the People's Liberation Army Air Force and the People's Liberation Army Naval Air Force. The actual J-11 comes from 1996, when China bought 200 Su-27 through Rose-Oberon export for $2.7 billion under a co-production scheme. By the agreement, SAC would assemble aircraft from kits manufactured by Komsomolsk-on Amur aircraft plant, and fit them with Russian subsystems which would not be co-produced. Production began in 1997. The first two were poorly assembled and required Russian assistance to rebuild. 5 were built by 2000, and another 20 by 2003, by which time production was of high quality and incorporated local airframe parts. Russia did not object to local airframe parts, which allowed KNAPO to reduce the contents of the kits. By late 2004, KNAPO delivered 105 kits, and 95 J-11s were delivered to the PLA Air Force. Co-production of the Su-27s ended in 2004 because China was developing the J-11B, a variant with domestic subsystems, in violation of the co-production agreement. Number 2. The Star Shadow drone. The Chinese Star Shadow is a promising drone, under development by Star UAV System Company Limited. The Chengdu, China-based company is looking at exporting the revolutionary drone that is definitely based on America's existing X-47B. In addition to access to the public photos of the X-47B, the designers could easily have received access to technology taken from a crashed American RQ-170 drone in Iran and papers on stealth technology sent to China by a US spy. It's unclear whether Star UAV system gained intel as a result of cyber espionage or through the Chinese government, if at all, but the similarities between the X-47B and the Star Shadow are hard to ignore. Number 1. The J-20 stealth fighter jet. China's J-20 stealth jet, believed to be a copycat design of the US-made F-35, is now duplicating its non-stealth feature, to carry weapons, on external pylons. The F-35 and J-20 carry missiles and bombs in an internal weapons bay to avoid radar detection. However, for some missions requiring heavier weapons load, these are mounted on external pylons, at the expense of stealth. The Chinese jet previously had the capacity to carry 4 PL-15 missiles in its main weapons bay and 2 PL-10 short-range missiles in its side weapons bay. Their external adapters will enable the jet to carry 4 more missiles. The Chinese media speculated that the J-20 fighters could also carry external fuel tanks for extended range. The J-20's sensor system also looks similar to the F-35's electro-optical targeting system in terms of shape and placement. In 2007, Chinese hackers allegedly stole technical documents related to the F-35 from Lockheed Martin. If you enjoyed the video, it would be great if you like, share and subscribe to the channel Weird Facts.